City TV and a big game. We've got the play-in going on, Bennett. Woo! This is hot stuff.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say hot anything tonight. It's kind of blistery out here, I would call it.
Blistery cold stuff. But This is football weather. This is the stuff that Douglas County Tigers love, but it's going to affect the ball handling tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. East Paulding, they're 7-2 for the year. They were number 2 in the north of the region, and so they'll play Douglas County here tonight. And a well-coached team, really disciplined team, and they're led by their running back, number 28, a sophomore, and he has 1,320 yards so far this year. He's actually the number 1 sophomore running back, not in the state, but in the nation.
That's incredible. Kamani Thomas really has the legs. He's low to the ground, so that's what's going to make it difficult to tackle this kid tonight.
Yep, a lot of speed. You know, Douglas County's played East Paulding earlier in the year. They did lose, but now they get revenge on their home field, and so we'll look for Douglas County to come out, run the ball once again. Of course, Douglas County has a pretty good runner in themselves.
They have the answer to number 28 for the Raiders. It's number 18, Brandon Penniman, and he has been the charm for them all season long. His legs have taken him about 982 yards, so he's 18 shy of the 1,000 mark. You know that kid's going to be working hard tonight.
Yeah, and here tonight, you know, if you win, you continue, but if you lose, you go home. And so I'm sure Douglas County, Coach Oglesby is preaching to them, you know, this could be it for these seniors. Last game together, so if you can't get them fired up in this situation, you know, they're just not going to get ready.
It's going to be a great contest. It's a 5-4 team and a 7-2 team. Don't ask me how they got their 2 losses, because this team is tough. East Paulding Raiders and Douglas County Tigers, along with Bennett. This is Jonathan Monk, and we're ready on City TV to bring you one great game.
Well, Monk, we are back here at Tiger Stadium. Tonight, the East Paulding Raiders, sporting a 7-2 record, are here to face our 5-4 Douglas County Tigers.
Well, don't let the records fool you. I mean, this East Paulding team is a lot better than the record indicates. They played a couple of close games and a couple of close losses. Sprayberry with one of them and just a few points on another game. So this is a tough team. They could have been undefeated on the season.
Yep, one of their losses came to Cale, which is the number 9th ranked team in the state. And, of course, East Paulding is ranked 21. Looked it up today, and Douglas County is ranked 45. But this is what they call a play-in game for the region championship to move forward. If you win here tonight, you move to next week. But if you lose, it'll be your last game.
Well, you know, you could be Chapel Hill, where you could have won. You were talking about this, a little bit earlier before the broadcast start. Could have won and played an easier team, but they're playing Kell tonight. So
yep, they could have won. If they'd have won last week, they would have been seeded number 1 in the south side of the region. They lost, and so now they're seeded number 4, and they're hosting Kell over at Chapel Hill High School tonight. So looks like the captains for tonight, Devin Randall, Shay Seeley, Jake LaPointe, and, of course, Brandon Pettiman.
And Ladarius Banks, Taylor Gadbois, C.J. Christian, those are the captains for the East Paulding Raiders, and the Raiders have elected to receive the kickoff tonight.
And it appears to be about 36 degrees at kickoff time.
It appears.
Going down to 32.
It feels a lot colder than that, Bennett.
And, you know, we talked a little bit about playing in these conditions, that it kind of dictates what you can and can't do. I know the players are not used to these conditions, and certainly East Paulding's number 1 running back, which is Kamani Thomas. He's got 1,320 yards on the season. He averages 8 yards per carry, 134 yards per game. I mean, he's a sophomore, so he's probably 14, 15-year-old kid. Probably never played in these cold conditions, so we'll see how he reacts tonight.
Well, let's see if he keeps a grasp on the ball, and that's going to be the key right there. Your hands get a little, pretty much like a piece of brick and stone when you're out there. I remember when I played on this level, it was very difficult. I played receiver, so as a wide receiver, it was tough to. And we didn't have those fancy gloves they have now.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was before those fancy glove days, man.
Yeah, and I was thinking back today. I had my finger dislocated in 1980, and when it gets cold like this, it still hurts.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So these guys, they're certainly not used to this weather, but some people like to play in the cold weather, but I never did.
Well, and it's not much of a passing game for East Paulding Raiders. I mean, they know they can pass, and they've done that before, but they're predominantly a running team as well as the Tigers. They're a running team. You've got two fine runners. Number one in the nation, that's an incredible, 8 yards per carry is just an incredible feat for this kid.
Yep. Both teams are led by senior quarterbacks. Of course, for Douglas County, Devin Randall, number 10, he's a senior. And then, of course, for East Paulding, you have number 14, Sean Ashley. He's got 7 TDs on the year, only 2 interceptions. But like you said before, East Paulding's a grinded out. They're going to run the ball. Douglas County will certainly have to stop the run tonight to be successful.
Absolutely. And, they've got some big players on East Paulding. The Raider, I was standing next to a guy. He had to be, I would say, about 6'5", and 240 pounds, but a lean 240 pounds. And there's a lot of characters like that on the Raiders. So it's a tough team. Kickoff, Juan Cerna, and Juan he's a freshman, and this kid has been very impressive throughout the season so far.
Yep, he's had field goals of 37, 44, and 47 yards.
Ooh, that one's going to go out of bounds.
Yep. So we're going to get the ball at the 40-yard line to start the first series.
And, that has a lot to do with the weather, too. When it gets colder, obviously the ball's harder to punch out there, and it just kind of doesn't carry the way it does in nicer weather.
Yep. Little correction there. They get the ball on the 35-yard line. So we'll see sophomore running back Kamani Thomas come out, number 28 for East Paulding. And the Douglas County defense will try to stop him here early in the first quarter.
Take a look at number 76, too, and that's the guy I was talking about earlier. That's Taylor Gadbois. He is just huge, offensive lineman up on the left side. Look for them to run off tackle all night long on that side, and that's where they're going to start off tonight.
Yes.
And it's going to be a touchdown, it looks like it, unless number 12 can catch up, and that would be Javante Kemp-Davis, and he just couldn't.
Well, we're going to get a clip, which was a very stupid play by East Paulding, but about 20 yards behind the play, one of East Paulding's linemen clipped somebody in the back, so it's going to come back. So big play there, big call by the referees.
Yeah, we'll just wipe a little sweat off our brow on that one. That's a close call. But did you see the way number 28 just took off? Kamani Thomas off a left tackle. Number 76, he's the big guy there. They're going to pound that all night long.
Yep.
I guess if you know that they're going to do that, there's got to be a way that coach can retaliate.
Well, they end up calling a personal foul against Douglas County, so the 65-yard rushing touchdown will stand.
Wow.
Looks like one of Douglas County's players was doing a little extracurricular activity.
Well, that was a quick touchdown, too. That's on the opening kickoff, first play.
First play of the game, 65-yard scamper.
Well, that certainly adds to the 13-20 for the year so far.
Yep.
We're going to have to see if Brandon Penniman can answer on the other end. Obviously, we're going to see a good running attack from the Tigers. And he's about 18 yards away from 1,000 for the season.
Yep. Not the start that Douglas County wanted, but looks like the touchdown's going to stand. We're going to start out in the hole.
This is just like it's been all season long, though. First quarter, just coming out, a little disheveled, not focused. Making some early mistakes, some penalties.
Yep, extra points good. So East Paulding takes a 7-0 lead here early in the first quarter.
Well, you know what they say, there's only one place to go from here, and that's up.
The best I can tell, it took 12 seconds for East Paulding to get on the scoreboard. So.
Well, that's not bad. I wonder if that's a record.
I don't know. I guess if you run the kickoff back, you could get quicker, but that's pretty quick.
Now, where did you say the Raiders were ranked in the nation?
Well, they're ranked 21st in the state of Georgia as far as 4A. As far as the nation, I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you said 21st in the nation. I was going to say, wow, that's just that's an incredible feat. But even 21st in the state, you've got a lot of great football teams in the state.
I guess the penalty will be marked off on the kickoff, so they're going to be kicking off from the 45-yard line of Douglas County. So
kicking the ball is Alex Frazier, number 30. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Check that. It's going to be number 92. How about number 93?
A little squib kick. It's like Shea Seeley's going to field it or try to field it at the 4-yard line.
Oh, let's see him try to get out of this mess. Boy,
great return.
That was a great return.
It's like he got about 22 yards on the return.
That was a little frightening and quite an impressive run back for Shea Seeley. They had him pinned back there close to the 5-yard line.
It's like he had a little trouble gaining control of the ball, but once he got going, it was the same Shea Seeley which we've seen all year long. You know, last week Douglas County kind of struggled against Paulding County, which was a winless team. They ended up winning that game 10-0. So hope they were looking ahead to this game.
And that sometimes happens. You know, kids get that in their head. They're like they're already in the play-ins or the playoffs, and you really have to take that one game at a time. I'm sure Coach did something that
first handoff to Brandon Pettiman. He's going to pick up about 14 yards.
And he's going to be a couple of yards short of that 1,000 mark. And that was a fine play, and some great blocking up front. And this offensive line for the Tigers has been pretty solid all year long.
Led by a couple of seniors. Douglas County came out in a little different formation that time. They didn't come out in the I. Came back with two split running backs on either side of Devin Randall, and twin sets to one side. So they're going to stay in that formation.
And look at the confidence that Devin has, from the beginning of the season, to now. I think he's grown as a quarterback.
Oh, I think the senior leadership, we talked about it several times. They've really matured through the year, and down 7-0 in a region play-in game here, they're going to have to call on that leadership tonight. So
I was thinking that the Raiders have some pretty big players up front, but usually sometimes with that mass comes less speed, but they're pretty fast.
Yep, they run a 3-4 defense. They blitz the linebackers.
It's a nice fake.
Devin Randall just throws it away,
and wisely so. Nice, that was a nice play on his part. Flag is down on the ground.
Looks like it's going to be a late hit. Oh, intentional grounding. He was not outside the tackles, and so Devin Randall's going to get caught for intentional grounding. There was no receiver in the area, so Douglas County's going to get moved back.
And you're going to wonder if that was just a busted play where somebody missed the route, or it was just, I got to get rid of this because they're putting some pressure on me.
Well, like somebody may have went the wrong way.
Yeah,
I think tried to get rid of it to save himself, and it's going to end up costing us loss of down and yardage, it looks like. So it'll be about 3rd and 14 for Douglas County. Still in the split backfield.
And a penalty flag. So
we're going to have
get some motion on
probably
that.
some motion on Douglas County. It's going to push them back even farther. So
this is looking like the first game of the season.
Well, we talked about it all year. The first half has not been the best half of the game for the Douglas County Tigers, and when you get to this level in the region playoffs, you just can't afford to have a bad first half because the teams are just better talent.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't fall behind. We saw it when South Paulding, was here, and they defeated Douglas County, but you could really see the talent level. And we've only seen one play from the East Paulding offense, but certainly it was an impressive one. So we don't need to get in a hole here. Of course, it's 3rd down, about 18 yards. You don't want to do anything stupid here.
And almost intercepted.
Yep.
Off the fingertips of
DJ Fluden.
And Mike Furby almost came back away with that ball, and that would have put Douglas County in a real bad bind.
Yeah, if he didn't take it the whole way. So
this is like one of the first times that I've actually seen the team ready to punt. They're certainly in that position. They haven't punted too often this season. They've moved the ball pretty well, the Tigers have.
Looks like Zachary Maldonado is going to be the punter.
We'll see how good this kid's leg is. There's a high snap.
Oh, a great spiral.
Great punt.
Looks like it's going to be returned. First man misses. He reverses field. He's going to have another chance. He misses again. And he's got a wall set up.
He may have stepped out of bounds.
Yep, he did step out of bounds.
Couple of shots.
We got a flag on about the 38-yard line.
And, you know, Terrell Hanna was the one that received that. He's the leading punt returner for the Raiders, and you can see why. I mean, he waited for the wall to set up to go on that side, and, you know, it almost looked textbook there.
And these teams played earlier. Of course, Douglas County lost to East Paulding on the road, but East Paulding did have 2 touchdowns via the kicking team, 1 punt return and 1 kickoff return. So
a lot closer than you would think. I mean, the teams were evenly matched in that particular game.
Looks like they're going to pick up the flag. It's going to be a no call, and we'll find out exactly where he ran out of bounds. Looks like he ran out of bounds about the 30-yard line. So once again, good field position for East Paulding here early in the first quarter.
And if you're East Paulding, you might as well just stay with the formula that's gotten you here and has given you 7 wins for the season.
And like you said, you know, that first running play went right up number 76 back.
Oh, yeah.
The big offensive tackle for East Paulding. So looks like they're going to pass.
He had him. He just went a little far with the throw. Number 23 was out there. He is the leading receiver, by the way, Andre Suttles.
Yeah, it's got 13 catches for 264 yards. And, you know, they tried to catch Douglas County, and they probably did catch them off guard that time. Faked it to their sophomore running back, and the guy was wide open. Just one step too many and just couldn't get it to him.
And, you know, when you're ahead 7-0 and you're in good field position, that was a good call. Coach made a nice call with that. Kind of puts the defense on their toes. You don't know now if you're going to run. They're looking like they're spreading the wide receivers right now, and they're going to run it up off the left tackle.
Yeah. It's like we stopped him that time for about a 5-yard gain.
Jake LaPointe was right up on that one, so he was not fooled with that at all. And look at Shea Seeley. I mean, you're going to be calling his name out all night long, but he was up from the safety position all the way to the line during that play.
Yep. He's the second leading tackler for Douglas County this year. He's got 58 solo tackles going into this game. Wow. So he's had a great year on both sides of the ball. Looks like it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 6, so a big play here for Douglas County.
Well, Sean Ashley, you know, we talk about the running game for the Raiders, but, you know, not too shabby of a season for him with 7 touchdowns.
Only 2 interceptions.
And so that's a pretty good, you know, that's a pretty good rating for quarterback there.
Yep, East Paulding goes from the I backfield just straight up the middle. Once again with Kamani Thomas. Looks like he's going to pick up a couple of yards. It's going to be short of the first down. Looks like about a 4th and maybe 3. Maybe in 4-down territory for East Paulding with a 7-0 lead here.
Sure. And, you know, they're thinking about it, and you see the quarterback strutting back out there. So Sean's going to get in the huddle. He's probably going to call a play. I'm thinking it's, you know, it's going to go off that left tackle.
Yeah, 4th and 5, so 4th and a long 5.
I'm going with the money runner if I'm calling any plays as a coach. But they're stacking it up on the right-hand side for Douglas County.
They're going to fake it. The running back's out in the flat. The quarterback's going to run for it, and he will pick up the first down.
He's got some good legs, too. Boy, he's got a lot of speed.
It's like he has 337 yards rushing for the year. So he's got some speed once he gets in the outside.
And that's all they really needed to do was get that first down because they can pound it into the end zone now.
I think Douglas County kind of threw everybody in the box that time, expecting Kamani Thomas to try to pick up the first down. Once the quarterback got outside, there just wasn't any defenders.
Yeah, and that's where you really have to play heads up as a defensive end on that because you do have to box the quarterback back in, keep him on the inside, especially on a play like that.
Yeah, we got one-on-one on this receiver to the left side. Looks like the quarterback audibly off. And just a straight sweep to the sophomore running back. It's going to pick up a couple of yards.
Shea Seeley up on that tackle. Jake LaPointe in there too. Jake grabbing the legs and Seeley coming up on the top side.
Yeah, Jake LaPointe, is Douglas County's leading tackler for the year. He's had 61 solo tackles, so he's another guy that kind of goes both ways and does some other things, but he's had a great year for Douglas County also.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player. Heads up, you don't see too many plays get by him.
It's like about a 2nd and 7 for East Paulding. Throw it to the corner of the end zone.
Oh, and there's an interception.
Great interception by Antonio Glover.
Man, he's got hands too, just like a magnet.
That's a big play.
That's a beautiful catch. Man, it was like Sean Ashley was throwing it to Antonio. But they had the right idea. They went to the corner, just didn't get up high enough. I mean, and the receivers were matching. Now they forget that Antonio Glover is a very tall kid.
Yeah, and a receiver, so Douglas County dodges a bullet, and they can drive down the field and get right back in this game.
Very nice.
No points for East Paulding on their 2nd offensive series. Looks like we're still in the split backfield with Devin Randall. He's going to take the snap, give it to Brandon Pettiman straight up the middle. Looks like they're going to stack Brandon up on the left side, probably for no gain.
Yeah, and they're looking for that tonight. I mean, that they've done their homework on this team. They know that Brandon is, he is the lead rusher. He's at 1,000 yards or better now for this game. So they're going to key in on him.
I did talk to the offensive coaches this week, and they said they're going to throw some different wrinkles in. In other words, it's win or go home, and so they've got the Wildcat formation with Shea Seeley taking the direct snap that they're going to try to run a little bit to try to do a little misdirection and try to confuse East Paulding's defense. Right now, though, Devin Randall back at quarterback. Going to do a toss sweep here.
We talked about that. We don't like those tosses, those options. They were sloppy on them last game.
Yep. 2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yep. We saw a couple of fumbles. Actually, the sweep was to Brandon when we had the miscommunication, but that time it looks like John Willis came around the left side and was the option man. Picked up 2 yards, so it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Splitting Antonio Glover out to the left-hand side. And you could expect a pass on this, and so they read that all the way.
Yep, that's those blitzing linebackers that we talked about
number
earlier.
48.
East Paulding blitzes a lot.
And that's Jonathan Little who came in on that. He's a junior. He read that all the way.
It's like 70 Zachary Maldonado is going to have his 2nd punt of the 1st quarter.
Yeah, he had a good one last time. So he's getting some good practice
good
tonight.
Punt.
Pinned back to about the goal line. With this one, he'll kick from the goal line.
The snap was high last time. See if we get it down this time.
I think he's setting up a little bit further back because of that.
Another great spiral, another great punt.
That dude
kicks it over number 15's head. It's going to get a Douglas County roll, and that's just your average 60-yard punt.
Oh, sure. That was fantastic.
Oh, great punt. I think that's the best punt of the year for him.
That's a beauty, and you couldn't ask for anything better than that.
And so East Paulding, at least we pinned them back. It's like they're going to set up on the 30-yard line. So
it would have been nice that if we could have moved the ball in that offensive series and at least get it in a scoring position. Maybe give a chance for Juan Cerna to at least kick a field goal and keep it tight.
We came out in the I backfield with Joseph Barker as the lead fullback for several games, and we haven't shown that series yet.
Haven't seen that. No.
We did the wishbone a couple of weeks ago, so looks like we're kind of experimenting with a new formation here for Douglas County. Looks like they're going to fake it to their running back, throw a little screen pass.
That's number 48. That's their fullback, and Jonathan Little, who also plays on defense too. So.
I think we're definitely going to get a block in the back this time against East Paulding.
Yeah, I think so. That sure looked like it.
So that's probably going to bring this back. Looks like Coach Reed for East Paulding is disagreeing with the timing of the flag, but it was pretty obvious that he did block him in the back. So they're going to bring this back, penalize him, and take away a 15-yard pass play that was a really nice play.
Yeah, they set it up pretty well. I mean, blockers out there. let the fullback float out there. Usually, the defense is keen on him to block for their lead rusher, Kamani Thomas. And it looked like they might do that with that fake, but they just rolled him out to the right-hand side and got it in his hands. He actually looked like he could have moved that ball a little bit further.
Yeah, and Sean Ashley, he's came out throwing the ball tonight, which we talked about them being just a running team, but they're certainly using the pass early in the first quarter.
Yeah, he looks pretty good with it, too, except for that interception by Glover in the end zone.
Yeah, just a straight high backfield with two receivers to the left side for East Paulding. They're going to give it off to their sophomore running back, and he is stopped 2 yards behind the line. Great defensive play.
That's number 6, and that's
Brandon
Bostic,
Yep.
who really came in on that one.
Yep. Brandon's got 27 tackles, solo tackles on the year, so he'll add one more to that.
He's a real speedy player, too, so you don't usually see him. I mean, you don't see him take on the meat like that, but boy, he wrapped that boy up pretty good.
It's like Keith Radford's checking in for Douglas County. He's like a linebacker. They'll do a toss sweep to their sophomore running back, and he stopped for about a 6-yard gain. Pretty effective with that sweep.
Yeah, they really are.
Is.
Yeah.
You can tell he has a speed once he gets outside.
Well, and how do you stop that? I mean, that's a tough thing to stop. You pull the linebackers up too quickly, you might get a pass, a rollout pass. So you got to be careful with that.
Well, it's going to be about a 3rd and 4.
They're spreading it wide, but I know they're going to go with the run
right up the middle.
Right side. Yep.
Breaks
nice
a couple
stop.
of tackles. It's going to be very close. Looks like it's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
That was a great stop.
Here in your own territory, we'll see if they go for it on 4th and 1.
At this point, I don't think that's a wise decision.
No.
But you never know.
Yeah, we've only stopped them behind the line one time all night, so that would be a pretty gutsy call. It looks like they're going to punt it away.
Yeah, I think a safe call at this point in the game. You're controlling pretty well, and your defense has been pretty strong, so why not give them the opportunity to step up again?
Looks like 93 Tyler Jelks is the punter for East Paulding. And it doesn't look like we're going to put anybody back to receive the punt. We're just going to let it roll.
All right. We got Shea. Shea's back.
Oh, very close to being blocked. Oh, it hit a East Paulding Raiders player on the back. Came very close to blocking that kick.
Yeah, that was Florencio Johnson who the ball hit downfield. So they'll mark it where it hit him. And that gives them an extra 6 yards on that play.
We talked about all year how Shea Seeley kind of played deep, and we always said that he was deep. Talked to the coaches, and they're not real comfortable about us fielding punts, period. And so that time, we didn't put anybody back.
Sure.
So I guess, they just don't want to take that chance of losing the ball because we haven't really, tried to return a lot of punts.
Well, and most punters in the league, they're not that spectacular.
Right.
I mean, we really do have a great one on the Tigers, but not too many of them can punt very well. So
we stayed in the split backfield, gave it to Brandon Penniman. Looks like he picked up about 4 yards, so it's like a pickup of 5. So we got about 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Douglas County down 7-0 to East Paulding. Looks like we're going to stay in the split backfield. Looks like Devin Randall was going to pitch it once again.
And a flag on the play.
Yep, looks like that's probably going to be something against Douglas County late.
Either that or you hope for that little face mask at the end.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a makeup call for the previous one since they threw it on the East Paulding sideline. So,
hey, don't talk too loud. We got a couple of refs up in the booth.
Yeah,
with
I expect
us.
that to be against Douglas County, and there you go. So
hey,
now we're even.
I'm not with this guy. I just want you to know. he's on his own.
This is not my first football game, I can tell you. I think he actually threw the flag over to the coach at East Paulding just to let him know he was going to do it. So anyway, so Douglas County's going to get called for holding here. It's going to back them up. It's like the 10-yard variety, so it's going to be second and about 14.
A couple of minutes to the first quarter here. Really, there's not been a lot of offense for the Tigers. What do you think they have to do, Bennett, to open it up to get Brandon out where he's comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, they continue to stay in that spread formation. I mean, they did well with Joseph Barker as the lead blocker all year long, and now we changed completely to the spread and the two splits. And I don't know if they're trying to confuse them, but we had most success in that I backfield with Joseph Barker pounding it in there and Pettiman following him, and we just haven't done that yet.
And then give it to Barker a couple of times too, because he really did a spectacular job carrying the ball as well as blocking. Yeah, it just seems like the offense tonight is having its issues.
Well, without that lead blocker, when you go to that spread backfield or split backfield, you just don't have that big fullback knocking some folks off. So we'll see how long we stay in this split backfield.
Well, I think you're going to see a pass to Shea Seeley over to the right side, and he's looking for him.
Yeah, they pump fake, and we got a hold.
Oh man! Just a little too much on the ball.
Yeah, defensive back grabbed his jersey on the way by.
Oh, that's good. That'll be helpful.
Yep.
Missed the play. Did we get no flag?
They didn't call it.
I think regardless, the ball was thrown just a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
too long. So good no call.
So it looks like Zachary's third punt of the first quarter. Had a 60-yarder last time.
Man, he's been just belting that. Usually with the cold weather, the ball's a little flat, but he's having no problem tonight. What's he got inside the shoe? Hey, Zach, take your shoe off. We want to see what's in there. Man, he's been getting some great spirals off and getting some good bounces, too.
Like about a 35-yarder that time, so didn't get the Douglas County roll that we did last time. But Douglas County's defense has rose to the occasion the last two series.
Not bad, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, putting up some good stops there.
You just know Kamani Thomas is sitting back there just waiting, and if he gets in the open field, nobody's going to catch him. So we just have to be aware of that. There we go, great defensive play.
Real nice. That's Javante Kemp. David Davis actually looked like he was riding a horse on that one, man.
Not the way it's taught, but it was effective. It's like they're going to gain 1 yard. Javante Kemp Davis, he's got 34 tackles on the year. If you take away that first 65-yard touchdown run, the East Paulding offense hadn't done a lot here in the first quarter.
Don't speak too soon because they can move the ball.
Yep. Looks like he's going to pass here.
And that was a good pass.
Yeah, great pass, great route. Looks like it's going to pick up about 6 yards.
That's Andre Settles, and he's the leading receiver. 264 yards on the season so far, and put a couple up now, so he's got to be close to 290.
Sean Ashley, the quarterback for East Paulding, he's got a good arm.
He's a fine quarterback.
Big quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He can see far over the defense. That's what amazes me about East Paulding. There's some big guys there, and Douglas County's been kind of standing up to them.
Right.
Because they look like they're just huge compared to the Tigers.
Yeah, big 76. They're just running right behind him on the left side.
Yep, that's it. You got 76. You got 59. You got a couple of players up there that just look like they're college players.
Well, that's going to do it for the first quarter. Douglas County's hung close with East Paulding, 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Well, just thankfully we're up in the booth and we're really enjoying it with a nice little heater. I wouldn't want to be Fred. He looks like he's he's just bundled up like there's no tomorrow out on the field. I know we're going to talk to him and see him out there in just a little bit.
So it looks like 1st and 10 for East Paulding. They got the ball on their 40-yard line.
And they like that sweep play.
Once again to Kamani Thomas,
Jake
their leading
LaPointe.
rusher. And I tell you, you can just see the speed.
He really does. I mean, if he does, like you said, get outside, if he just busts outside. But Jake LaPointe's been really firm up front. He's coming in from linebacker and just stopping him at the line and not giving him much at all, 2-3 yards, where he's used to making more than that. What's his average carry? 8 yards per carry?
8 yards per carry. Only a sophomore, so. It's like a 2nd and 6 for East Paulding. Just a little fake. Got one-on-one down the field.
He's got the speed on there. It's Javante. Wow.
Javante Kemp Davis.
Man, that was
runs
great.
Him down for a little 6-yard loss.
He's a little bit lower on that tackle there, man, but he wrapped Sean's arms up, and there was no way that he was even going to get a pass off or out of bounds. Good play.
Yeah, that's going to push him back to about 3rd and 13. So hold him here, and Douglas County will get an opportunity again to showcase that offense.
Those seaweed body wraps that women like, right around the holidays, they get those gift certificates that go out for that. That's what Javante Kemp Davis looked like climbing on top of Sean Ashley.
I think Douglas County's got 12 guys on the field.
Well, come on, you got to get one off.
We'll count them here.
Oh, no, that's not good.
We got 12.
Yep, that's what it's going to be.
Well, nobody's come off yet, so we still got 12.
And they'll kick off Trey Brown. I'm like, Trey, come on over. You're closest to the sideline, so come on off.
So a little 5-yard penalty. That'll move it to 3rd and 8 for East Paulding.
I say, you're going to put 12 on there, put 13, 14, stack it up.
Tennessee a couple of weeks ago, they had like 14 against LSU. Didn't work out for them.
That's all right. Tennessee can't count anyway. Man, that's just pounding it up the middle. Kamani Thomas for about 5-6 yards.
Yeah, a little cross-buck play. It's like it's going to be about a 4th and 3 yards.
With all that speed, he's got power too. I mean, he hits that line pretty hard.
Not a big kid as far as height-wise, but he's got some legs on him, built low to the ground. So it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 2.
You kidding me? Well, it's worked before for them, so.
Yeah. They're on their own 30-yard line, so. A little toss sweep.
Play.
Yeah, that's their money play. Yeah, he's not going to have it. Right, yes.
It's going to be close, but Shea Seeley came up pretty quick. Just didn't get there.
Oh, yeah,
quick
he got
enough.
it by about 4 yards. So first down, East Paulding.
Well, they're, moving the ball methodically now, so. Switching up the plays. They've been very effective on sweep on the outside.
Straight handoff to Kamani Thomas. Looks like we're going to stack him up for maybe a 1-yard gain.
Handoff number 28, Kamani Thomas, brought down by number 51, Ryan Ellis. Speed of about 1 on the play, 2nd and 9.
51 Reyes Ellis, sophomore linebacker for Douglas County. So 2nd and 9. Probably a passing situation here for Sean Ashley.
He's going to hand it off. And he does.
Straight up the middle. Bread and butter, number 28.
That's it. They're going to just pound it. Why not? Why take the chance, for another interception?
Yeah.
They might throw one to the end zone just for laughs.
Well, you don't pick up 1,320 yards by throwing the ball. That's for sure. Rushing.
Sure don't.
So they kind of knew what they were going to do going in. It's just a matter of Douglas County stopping them, which they have on several occasions. Got the ball back, so it's like a 3rd and 6 here.
3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
Big fullback in front of Mr. Thomas also.
Yeah, man, that's number 48. That's Jonathan Lytle, and he is huge. Boy, they love those rollouts. And Sean,
good tackle.
Nice tackle.
It's like number 12. That's Javante Kemp Davis.
Man, he's been real active tonight. He's been fast out on the field. He's wrapping him up now.
Looks like it's going to be about 4th and 3, so they got a decision to make here.
Yeah, Javante Kemp Davis has been Sean Ashley's headache all night long.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is scientifically proven fact that cheering for the DC defense will keep you warm. So let's hear it for the DC defense.
Looks like they're going to go for it here.
Well, your quarterback's got 63% completion percentage. You've got the number 1 rusher. You've got the tools. And you go to the number 1 rusher.
To the left side.
And he just bounces off of the defense.
He just lowered his head to get that first down.
Yeah, number 21, Trevin Reagans, just kind of bounced off. He looked like when you play dodgeball and you get hit with that big old bouncy thing on your head and it just, boom.
So they gamble on 4th down, get the first down. So East Paulding still in business here.
Well, and the defense hasn't been giving up the big plays, which is, this is just a tough running team. But they haven't given up the big plays.
And run right behind big number 76 once again. It's like 28 Thomas is going to pick up about 5 more yards. After that first 65-yard run, he's well on his way to his 134-yard average.
Wow.
I would say.
Is that what he has? 134 yards
per game, yeah.
That's incredible.
Next is going to bring up a 2nd and 6 for East Paulding.
Lytle with a nice block up on the left-hand side.
Look, Kamani Thomas showing his strength that time. He was hit about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage and carried a couple of DC players about 5 more yards. So
well, he just keeps the legs moving. I mean, and he carries the ball low to begin with. When he gets into that, the center of the field, he's carrying the ball low. He gets down low, but he keeps the legs going. And the only way to stop him is to get up underneath him.
So we got a face mask on Douglas County on the defense. So
that's going to hurt.
That's going to first down. Give him a first down. 1st and goal, it looks like.
1st and goal for the East Paulding Raiders.
I think they're going to spot it about the 2-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, here for the DC goal line.
It's like they put an extra blocker in the backfield.
Oh, just for show, you got to jump up.
Give it to the sophomore straight up the middle for a touchdown.
There's a flag on the play.
That's just to make it look a little exciting.
Yeah, we do have a flag on the right side, maybe illegal motion on East Paulding.
I think so. Just pick them up all night long. Yeah, that's it. I think he just had to bring that one out to blow his nose with, and man, I've seen a lot of no flags. This is probably the most no flags I've ever seen.
Not only was there one no flag, but I think there was actually 2 no flags on the field. So it looks like East Paulding's got a chance to go up 14-0 here.
Number 10, Tavares Moore, is going to hold. And the extra point is up and good.
Well, you can certainly tell they're a fundamentally sound team.
They really are.
Antonio Glover, was blocking extra points and field goals just like nothing all year long, and then a team like this comes in, it's just fundamentals. They get the snap off, they get the kick off.
That's right. Well, aside from that first run-off tackle in the first quarter, this has not been it hasn't been a bad outing so far for the Tigers. I mean, they're just a strong running team. The Raiders, are using number 28 and number 14, their quarterback, and they're mixing and they're matching it up, and they've got Jonathan Lytle there, as a lead blocker. And you had mentioned this before. We haven't seen Barker yet coming into block for Brandon Penniman, and I think we're a little bit off our game offensively.
Yeah, it's not surprising what East Paulding's doing, but it is surprising that East Paulding's able to stop Douglas County as much as they have on offense. I mean, we probably have 4 or 5 first downs in the whole first half so far, if that, and they have just shut down Brandon Penniman. Still a little confused why we're in that split backfield rather than the I, with, like you said, Joseph Barker leading up through. But I'm sure we'll see that pretty soon. If not that, the wishbone formation that we ran a couple of weeks ago also.
All right, well, Shea Seeley's going to get it, and he decided he's going to take it out and get out to the left-hand side, and you've got field and a ball.
I think Douglas County got it back.
I think so, and there's going to be a big fight.
You never know who's going to come out because there's about 20 guys on the pile. So it's ever who gets it at the bottom.
Well, I did see a Douglas County Tiger
we
get
had a
the
shot
ball.
to get it back.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, I think Douglas County got it back.
Shea Seeley on the run back.
Yeah, kind of a poor decision there on Shea's part.
Well, he made an indecisive run with it. I mean, he looked at it. He was like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I let go? Should I catch it? Now I'm on the 1 yard line. I have to run it out.
It looked like he actually stepped back into the end zone, which I think if he did, it would have been a touchback in high school football. But he kind of had to run it out, and they corralled him about the 6 yard line, and it kind of went downhill from there. But Douglas County did get the ball back. It looks like there's going to be a penalty.
Well, let's find out what the flag. Oh, hey, fantastic! How about that? That was definitely a flag. There was a no flag. That was a flag. See, there's been a difference tonight with the no flags and the flags. This is a flag.
It's like it's going to push us back to the 5 yard line. I'm sure that's a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, kind of piling on the pile, going after that fumble.
It sure did get ugly there at the end. So, I joke about it being a flag, but, it's warranted.
And so Douglas County starts at the 5 yard line. We see Joseph Barker finally in at the fullback position. So
how about that? I think Coach has been listening to us.
Yeah. That East Paulding defensive line, they've just put a stop on Brandon Penniman so far here in the first half.
They're brutal. And number 50, Bryce Bell, was right in their face.
We talked about the slow starts for Douglas County all year long. They've had another slow start here, but unfortunately they're down 14-0. Whereas a couple of the games this year, they were still in them at halftime.
That's right.
So they're going to have to be real careful here.
Well, they're going to have to move the ball. They're going to have to make a score. It's going to have to happen. And we're going to get a whistle and a flag. And this is a flag, and then a white flag.
Flag tossed before the play.
Yeah, that's probably going to be illegal motion on
It sure is.
Douglas County, so that's going to push them back to about the 2.5 yard line. Half the distance to go, it looks like.
Well, number 70 Zachary Maldonado has had a very active game, the punter for the Tigers, and he's been doing quite well. But we haven't seen him kick out of the end zone yet, and frankly, I don't want to see him kick out of the end zone.
I tell you, number 53 for East Paulding, that's Ladarius Banks. He's a senior nose guard. He's a big gentleman himself, stopping up that running game for DC.
That's a nice pass. Shea just couldn't get his footing on that, but he had to catch. He had some open field. Just was struggling with the feet.
We have one-on-one coverage over there, and Shea got the ball with some space, and that's a combination that we want tonight, because you put Shea in that situation, and the first guy's going to miss. So I'm sure the Douglas County coaches saw that and said, hey, if they're going to give us one-on-one with him, we'll take that later in the game. So it's like 3rd and 6.
Oh, man, he got stopped up. Boy. Whew.
It's like Christopher Connor, defensive end, just shot straight over from the right side. Met Brandon about 2 yards in the backfield, and it's just going to stuff him. So once again, number 70, fourth punt of the first half. Zachary Maldonado has had some work here tonight. He's going to be punting from his own end zone.
Well, this is the first time we'll see him out of the end zone, but boy, he's really been booting the ball. He had a 60-yarder, 35-yarder, so he's getting some good distance on that. You got number 15 back to field. That's Mitchell Webb.
Yeah, and East Paulding's, their return guys, they're back here ready to return the ball. They're not going to let it.
And you've got Terrell Hanna, and Mitchell Webb is just looking at it. He's like, nope, not going to take a shot at it. But you had your leading punt returner, Terrell Hanna, back on that. He left it alone. And number 15, Mitchell Webb, just shied away from it. So good choice. I mean, they have made some good choices, the Raiders have.
Right, about a 42-yard punt for Zachary, so he extends his night. His good punting night. Unfortunately, you don't have to punt a lot, but at least he's having a good night as far as his average. So,
well, I'm thinking that you got to bring some of the linebackers up. I mean, they're going to be pounding the ball and running, so why not just stop it up, bring some linebackers up, put more people up in the box. But here comes the pass. So nice tackle. Number 12, Javante Kemp Davison on that. Also number 90, that's Jeremy Bennett on the tackle.
Yep, that's Javante's third tackle behind the line of scrimmage tonight. So he's doing a great job.
He's having a good game. Well, this is the kind of action you want to see the Tigers make, this kind of movement.
Yeah, at least they're going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, they're moving the ball more on defense than they are on offense. We're getting more yardage this way.
Very surprised that East Paulding's opened up the passing game as much as they've tried here tonight.
Well, they have nothing to lose. And there's a nice throw. Terrell Hanna, their leading punt and their punt returner, and also a great receiver there. Obviously, some good hands, stopped for the ball and just grabbed it. Gained about 9 yards.
Yep. Quarterback just threw it up, kind of behind the defensive back. The receiver came back. The defensive back just kind of continued to go forward. And,
yep, that's right.
That worked every time.
Well, and that didn't happen for Sean Ashley the first time around when he did that and kind of floated it up there in the end zone.
In the corner.
Antonio Glover pulled it down for an interception.
Well, we're loading the box now, trying to stop number 28.
Man, that kid is like, the pinball machines? You ever play those?
Oh, yeah.
I played those in college. That's what it looks like out there tonight.
Well, his forward progress was close to the first down, but he kind of turned around and went the opposite way. So we did get a good break there. They could have gave the ball. They could have spotted the ball on his forward progress, and he would have been very close to a first down. But the way it's going to be now, it's going to be about a third and about 3 when they spot the ball. So, well, actually 4th and 3.
Yeah. So are they going to do it? They're going to go for it?
They're going to punt it.
And that's a smart move at this point. You're up 14-0. You can pin the Tigers into the end zone, or toward the end zone if you want to.
Yeah, once again we're gonna move Shea Seeley up and not even attempt to catch it and run it back. He did come close to blocking that first one, so
that's a low punt.
yeah.
But it's going to get a nice spin. That's Tyler Jelks, the punter for East Paulding Raiders. And that'll pin him back to about the 5-yard line.
You know, when you get to this point in the season, you would think that you could have someone back there that would catch the punt and maybe return. You know, that's a big part of the game. You know, Douglas County's just letting it roll. That time it rolled down to the 7-yard line, so we're going to start in there, you know, deep in their own territory once again. Shea Seeley has the hands and has the speed. Just obviously they're telling him to get away from the ball and just letting it roll.
Well, playing it real safe, and you know they're going to bank on you know, the offense moving the ball, and it's just not happening for them tonight. That's John Willis, and he kind of slipped on that one. So, but he's got some speed. You know, if he had some footing on that, and we noticed that Shea Seeley had some issues down on this end of the field. You know,
well, it rained, you know, a couple of times here today in the city of Douglasville, so the field may be wet. It's a cold night, damp.
Yep.
We have seen some footing problems
just on this end of the field. Oh man, and they're just stopping it up the middle. It's just not happening for the Tigers tonight.
It looks like East Paulding's going to call a timeout. It's going to be 3rd down, so they might get the ball back here with 1 minute and 20 seconds.
That's what they're hoping. That's what they're hoping. Number 9, Christian Connor, just smashing up the middle and clogging it up.
I was trying to think the best field position that Douglas County had. I don't think they've crossed over the 50-yard line tonight.
Not this quarter. Not this. Not this quarter.
So they have been in their own territory the whole game.
And you know that's asking a lot of the defense to play this type of game.
Stay out there the whole time.
And if they get out of this one 14-0 or even 14-3.
Yeah, I think 14-0 is the best you could ask for at this point, especially with the ball on your 5-yard line. But, you know, there again, East Paulding, you know, they put 2 guys back to receive the punt. They ran one back earlier in the year against Douglas County, so
they're trying to get up on that left side, too, and they've got Dimitri Licori. He's doing a real fine job up on the right side for the Raiders. Oh, man, you got to get rid of the ball or run it up the middle a little bit quicker.
He had to stretch out to get that ball to the 1-yard line, or that was going to be a safety.
That's Jonathan Lytle again, and he's been on both sides of the ball tonight for the Raiders.
Yeah. And, I mean, the ball's on the 1-yard line. I mean, Devin Randall almost got caught with a safety that time. He had to stretch it out to get there. So we're going to be punting. You know, and East Paulding's going to get the ball back in very good field position.
Well, this is asking a lot of number 70, Zachary Maldonado.
Yep. East Paulding takes their second timeout, which is very smart. Only 10 seconds went off the clock. So they're going to get the ball back with 1 minute to go. And
you just got to hope that the Tigers defense can really hold them on this.
Yeah.
It's been a disappointing first half for the Tigers. Unable to move the ball at all and really give them any chance of a score. And quite frankly, putting the defense in a very awkward position every time, you know, when you give the ball to the Raiders in good field position.
Well, East Paulding, I mean, they're 7-2. The only 2 games they lost were on the road, and we talked about Kale being one of them.
Sure.
And then Sprayberry kind of upset them, but they played solid here in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not to take anything away from the Raiders. I mean, but they look like they they do a good job, but they're a beatable team.
Yeah. And as Zach stands under the goal post to attempt the punt,
low snap.
He does get it off.
But they're just waiting for the setup. They're
going to get
number
a return.
15.
Yep, got a return set up down the left side.
And that's a big guy with a lot of speed, and a flag goes flying, and another one goes flying.
Yep. Well, that's going to be a block in the back on East Paulding.
It's got to be.
But, they ran it all the way down to about the 6-yard line. So that's only going to push them back about 15 yards.
Yeah, but there was a flag up on the field, too, so.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a block in the back on East Paulding. And that's from the spot of the foul. And it looks like the spot of the foul where the flag setting is going to be about the 26-yard line. So they're going to mark it off from there. So they should get the ball about the 36-yard line.
Big break for the Tigers.
They had the ball on the 6-yard line. And there again, what did I tell you about the punt return?
I don't know. Yeah, special teams haven't come to play tonight.
East Paulding looks like a solid team from top to bottom.
They do.
Here in the first half, defensively.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess that's why they're 7-2.
And the two losses that you're talking about, they were close. They were definitely in the ball game.
Yeah. I think they'll probably air it out here. No, little quarterback keeper to the left side, picks up about 6 yards. They run him out of bounds. Nope, stayed in bounds, so the clock's going to continue to run. 46 seconds to go, so East Paulding will probably have about 3 more plays maybe.
That's right. Malik Walker on that tackle, and we haven't heard his name tonight, but he played some heads up on that.
Looks like they're going to air it out here.
Oh, just a miscommunication. He didn't really turn quick enough. That was Terrell Hanna, and
it's like Cale Jackson for East Paulding was the intended receiver. That does stop the clock, so they'll have a couple of more tries at it.
If you're East Paulding, you should just set back and go for the corners on this one. It looks like they're going to set up for a run here.
Well, Douglas County gets the ball, start of the second half, so.
They get some late hits, though. I noticed like Terrell Hanna late on some hits out there for the Raiders. I'd be real careful. I know they're excited and they want to make way for their lead rusher, but you only get a couple of seconds left. Lay off a little bit so you don't get a penalty here.
Looks like East Paulding's going to call their final timeout of the first half. But I'm with you. The East Paulding running backs kind of look like pinball machines. They're just bouncing off the DC tacklers.
Well, look for them to keep the ball, I think, on the ground on this play here. You got number 48, who's been a great lead blocker for Kamani Thomas, the lead rusher. Jonathan Lytle is he's a strong runner to begin with, but he's like our Barker. Right. He's like our Barker.
Well, they can't stop the clock, so if you run a toss sweep and they catch them, you're going to run about 15 seconds off the clock. So got to be careful here. It's like a fake, just throw it straight, turn around, number 21. And he did. Great defensive play.
Nice. Didn't get his hands on him or anything.
Number 2 caught the ball, but number 21 was right there to knock it out. So great defensive play.
And the only reason I say, run it on this particular play, you're going to throw one to the end zone, but that's what they're expecting.
Right.
So I think it would have.
Like a draw.
Yeah, totally freaked them out if they did something like that. Absolutely. The draw would have been the play for this.
Yeah, and any advantage you can give to Kamani Thomas, he's probably going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you see this kid on a draw play?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any stopping him. They haven't tried it. They're going to go
he's
for the
going
pass
to flare
again.
out, try to throw the pass. Miscommunication between the receiver. It's like it was Donovan Creaseback.
And Andre Suttles, their leading receiver, just didn't seem to know what. I mean, that's happened the last couple of times on their pass plays.
Well, I think Douglas County's getting some penetration in the backfield. He's having to hurry his throws before the receiver makes his route, and just kind of catching them by surprise. The field goal kicker looked like we're definitely in his range during warm-ups.
Again, there it is. You know, now that was a slip.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that side of the field, there's some issues there.
Yeah. Andre Suttle slipping down. He's their leading receiver for East Paulding, so I'd be very surprised if they didn't try a field goal here. I mean,
well, I think they can go with another pass play and get the touchdown, or they might just say, okay, let's give it to our number one 8-yard per carry guy and hope that he gets a bigger.
Well, if they give it to the running back, it'll be the last play of the first half. If they throw it, they might have 2. Looks like they were going to throw it.
Timeout.
Timeout, Douglas County.
Timeout called by the Tigers.
I don't know. Late timeout. It looked like they were set and ready for it.
The only thing I can see happening here is that it's going to give East Paulding a little more time to think about whether or not they want to kick that field goal.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, it's fourth, let's go for the points and get out of here with a 14 or a 17-point lead. But looks like they're sticking with the game plan over there, going to go for it. But I certainly wouldn't have given them another opportunity to go over there and talk about it, that's for sure.
No. Because at that point, a 17-0 game. That's a spirit breaker.
Looks like they're going to stay the course. So we've got 8.3 seconds to go here in the first half. This will probably be the last play. Unless Paulding County picks up a first down, that'll stop the chains. They've got 10 long yards to go. Discussion of how much time was left. I think the official's actually going to keep it on the field, so the score clock must be wrong. A little pass to number 2 I hear.
That's Terrell Hanna. He's leading punt returner and a great receiver, but just didn't get anything on that.
Yep. So Douglas County will get the ball back with 3 seconds to go.
Well, you know what they're going to be doing on this one? Throw it up to Shea Seeley.
I don't know.
Give it a shot.
I would take a knee and get in that locker room as fast as I could go.
Go up the sideline.
No.
Do it out of the shotgun. Shea's got some legs, man. Just loft it up there. There's no way they can intercept that.
I'm taking a knee here, Monk. I'm going to that locker room.
No.
Warm up the hot chocolate.
No. Fake the knee. Fake the knee and throw it. No, that's what they're going to do. They're not taking any chances. They played it safe.
Yep.
Smart football. Come on, we wanted to see dangerous football. That's what I wanted to see. Well, you have to say it's been a disappointing first half for the Douglas County Tigers. Their defense has been, okay.
Yeah, well, their defense have been asked to stay on the field much of the first half. Of course, the first play of the game, 65-yard scamper by Kamani Thomas, put us in the hole 7-0. And East Paulding has kind of passed and rushed the ball, which is very surprising. But you can tell their main focus is just to grind it out, just to run straight up the middle, throw a sweep in every once in a while, and it's been very effective.
Well, and they've had some great field position too because of the ineffectiveness of the offense. The Tigers haven't really done anything on offense tonight, and it's left East Paulding in some good situations out on the field to try to get the yardage to score. And
well, it looks like Fred Perry is down on the field. Looks like he has one of the Douglas County coaches, so Fred's all bundled up, but let's go down and see who he has.
Coach Black, tough first half for the Douglas County Tigers. Got snake bit on that first play from scrimmage. Seemed to settle down. They got another score, but you're looking okay. What adjustments do we need to make for that second half?
Well, we just won't want them to get a beat on us. Right now, they're going to go in. They're great halftime adjustments. We're going to have to go in and make a better adjustment. That's really what it's going to be.
They got some pretty big guys on that front line. You guys are doing a pretty good job.
We're trying. We're trying. Our kids are getting after. They're doing what they're supposed to right now. So settle down. That stop helped us out a little bit, made it get a little confidence.
Good luck in the second half. All right.
All right, Monk, looks like we're getting ready to kick off the second half. It's going to be a uphill battle for DC here, down 14-0.
Well, the Tigers got a little rest in, during halftime in their shack and got some warmth into their bodies. The defense has been on the field most of the first half, so that gives them some energy. But they really have to do some moving of the ball. I mean, the offense has to go to work. They have to do something, and I think it's a coaching thing more than a kids thing.
Well, we talked about a little bit before we came on that Douglas County really needed to do something with this first possession. Whether it's 3, whether it's 7, whether it's getting past the 50-yard line, that they need to at least show something here in the second half.
Here comes the kickoff.
It's like a short kick. It's probably going to. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds. So Douglas County will get it at the 35-yard line to start the second half.
Well, see if they do anything different with the offense. They really haven't done the traditional Douglas County Tiger offense that really brought them, most of their wins for the season. Got Brandon Penniman out from outside the tackles and around the end, gain all the yardage that he has. He's really been, and it hasn't been Brandon's fault, but he's been ineffective in the first half.
Right. We'll see what formation they came out with. They stayed in that split backfield the whole first half. Looks like they're going to come out in a twin set. Bring Shea Seeley in motion.
Very nice. I like it.
Little option play to Brandon Penniman.
And that's not a good way to start the second half.
And once again, we talked about it earlier. 2 weeks ago, they had trouble with that connection between the quarterback and Brandon. And, to start the second half, we came out in that same formation. Had trouble. It's like Devin Randall held the ball a little too long. Tried to get it to Brandon Penniman. And just very lucky that the ball bounced out of bounds there.
Yeah,
East Paulding would have had it 30-yard line, first down.
We're not seeing Barker, one of his best lead blockers. I'm wondering if he's maybe injured. We haven't seen him in the game.
We saw him a little bit the first half. And now it looks like we're going to go to this kind of a spread offense and try to get it out to Shea Seeley. Only thing about that, we know that
Shea is down, and he is not moving. He is down. He is there. He's moving his head right now.
Looks like a little movement now.
Oh, he got hit bad.
Shea Seeley down for Douglas County.
Well, he was really exposed on that play. There were no blockers out, front. Linebackers came up, and they really read that play.
Right. Looks like an official timeout here to see if Shea can get up on his own power.
And, that would be a big loss, especially in the first part of the second half.
Second half. Looks like Shea's up, walking.
Nice. There you go.
Maybe just got the breath knocked out of him. Doesn't like he's favoring any arms or legs, so it's a good sign. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and 15 here for DC here in the second half. And, minus 5 yards of offense to start the second half is not what we needed.
Number 22 is going in. That's James Evans.
Looks like he's going to replace Shea as the flanker to the right side. We're going to stick with this 4 wide receiver formation with Brandon Penniman in the backfield. It's like a passing down. Devin Randall goes back. It's like he's scrambling. Throws the ball downfield, and he caught it. Great catch. That's 88. That's DJ Fluden.
Man, sure hands on that play, too. He came to the ball, and they were flushing Devin out of the pocket. But, boy, on a rollout like that, throwing across his body, that was pretty good control for that kid, man.
Huge play, 3rd and 16 to come up with a first down, and we finally went across the midfield stripe for the Douglas County offense. So maybe this is a sign of things to come.
I'll tell you, though, you don't underestimate the Raiders' penetration because the front 3 have been pretty strong. But, see, this is what's going to open up the run. And so Coach is doing a good thing. But,
right. Mixing it up. And we do know that East Paulding, they are a blitzing team. They bring their linebackers from that 3-4 defense. So
Well, we haven't seen, and this would be great against the blitz. A nice draw play would be fantastic.
We were promised some surprises by Coach Oglesby, in this game, and we haven't seen them yet. So, straight handoff to Brandon up the middle for another 4 yards, bring up about a 3rd and 4 for Douglas County. Deepest penetration. Looks like Shea Seeley's back in the game.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
We were promised that Wildcat formation with Shea taking the direct snap. We haven't seen it yet tonight. Looks like Devin Randall still at quarterback. Lone backfield. Brandon Penniman and 4 receivers. So a passing situation here.
Oh, man, he got tipped. Number 9 got his hands on it. That's Christian Connor.
That's a defensive end. And I tell you, I've been watching him, and the rain has started to fall here at Tiger Stadium.
Cold, wet, and you're behind by 14. Man, that's a lethal combination.
Tough mountain to climb, but
no
Douglas County's going to be asked to do it. I heard on the radio there was some sleet moving through Georgia.
Wow.
Earlier in the day, and certainly we have the temperatures here for a little sleet, so we'll see.
Hey, time for a passing game.
And they're going for it on 4th and 4.
No, you kidding me? That's
same play.
Oh, see, slippery hands.
It's like Anthony Graves was the intended receiver and just went straight through his hands.
Couldn't hold on to it, but you're in that position. You're vulnerable. You saw Shea Seeley get hit and racked up by the linebackers, and so he was looking around before catching the ball. It's like, is anyone going to come and hit me? And that's a tough position to be in, knowing that you're going to get whacked.
So it's going to be a first down, Paulding County, from the 40-yard line. They go back to the running back once again. We hit him in the backfield. He gets away from a couple of tacklers, and he's still going.
Got to tackle him low, and they're tackling him up high. They're above the waist on that. They're up by the shoulders, and you just have to tackle this kid low.
Yep, looks like Jake LaPointe is down for Douglas County.
And that's not good news because Jake's been really outstanding during this game.
Had a great game going so far, and there's a penalty flag sitting right beside him.
So we know it can't be him, right?
You wouldn't think. Referees are kind of talking it over here.
Well, more of the penalties have plagued the Tigers tonight than East Paulding. Jake's up.
Jake's up. Have to come out for one play.
Did you ever do that when you play? You just kind of get a little tired and you just lay down on the ground for a play.
I have been told when we're running out of timeouts late in the game we need to stop the clock, and there's ways to stop it. Official timeouts other than calling the timeout. I have been asked to do that before, and it worked successfully. So certainly not recommending that.
And this penalty will be against the Raiders.
It's like a 15-yarder. It's like too many men on the field, maybe. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, when Jake LaPointe was on the ground and went down that hard, that might have been just tugging on him, horse collar, stomping on him or something. You just don't know.
So it looks like a 1st and 25 for East Paulding. So Douglas County has an opportunity here to stop them deep in their own territory and get the ball back in good field position.
There's first down, 25 to go. Sean Ashley's been...
Oh, great play. The ball was batted, and the quarterback caught it out of midair and picked up about 3 yards.
Yeah, he's got some good hands on that one. But he's been, relatively effective with the passing. I mean, he's only had one interception, a couple of slips and falls, and maybe a miscommunication on some of the routes. So Other than that, though, he has connected a couple of times.
I don't think that counts as a reception. If you catch it yourself, would that be considered a reception?
Well, it was blocked by a Tiger player, so no.
Yeah. Looks like about 2nd and 23. Shea Seeley cut in front of him. Touchdown, Douglas County.
Wow.
What a play. Wow.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, a little quick pass to the right side. Shea Seeley read it perfectly, stepped in front of the receiver, caught it, took it about 25 yards, touchdowns, Douglas County.
That's exactly what the Tigers needed to get back in the ball game. Man, Shea Seeley really read that play, and that's coming out from being hurt a couple of plays before. So, man, he really adjusted to that and saw that play all the way.
So the defense for Douglas County put some points on the board here in the second half. That's what we needed.
And that's what we're talking about. The defense has done a real good job. Oh, there's a penalty flag.
I think it's offsides on number 5 for East Paulding. Yep. That's going to move at half the distance to go, so it'll be set up about the 1.5-yard line.
Well, you've got Juan Cerna, who's got a great leg, so he doesn't really need the they're going to decline the penalty. He doesn't really need that extra 6 yards there. It's up. And it's good.
Yeah. So big turn of events here at Tiger Stadium. All of a sudden, Douglas County's back in this football game.
And it's been the defense holding this game together all along. In the first half, they did. I mean, they held the Raiders to 14 points. I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. I'm seeing a 15-point Raider game. You got to take that point off.
Yep.
There you go. That's
well, we talked about earlier that Coach Oglesby was going to try to get the ball in the hands of Shea Seeley, the playmaker. We haven't seen him on offense yet, but Shea just took it upon himself to say, if you're not going to give it to me on offense, I'll just make the interception and take it 35 yards and put points on the board, Coach. Yep. So I'm sure Coach Oglesby appreciates that.
Fine play. Fine play.
He's a really good player.
Man,
had a great year.
He's just a smart kid. He's just a heads-up ball player. He always seems to be where the ball is. It puts him on defense again, though.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Looks like Juan Cerna is going to kick it off for Douglas County. East Paulding's got some very dangerous return guys.
Terrell Hanna, he's the lead punt returner for the Raiders. And we've seen the ball in his hands before, and he's fast. He's a smart runner. He's been able to, follow a wall of blockers, too.
Short punt. Number 30 is going to try to field it, which he does. Go straight up the middle. Douglas County's going to bring him down about the 45-yard line.
Hey, not a bad return for somebody. He had some good hands on that. And that's actually the leading tackler for the Raiders, Kyler Neal, who had the reception. So he's not so bad on that end of the ball
got
either.
Some good hands also for a linebacker. So here we go, number 76 for East Paulding. Their big defensive tackles trying to get them fired up in the huddle.
And it's not going anywhere.
No gain.
That's because they're getting down low. They're tackling low, and that's the difference right there. Brandon Bostic on the bottom of the pile, forcing number 28, Kamani Thomas down.
Yeah, Douglas County's defense is fired up. Fans are getting into it here. So, a big defensive stand here to hold East Paulding, get the ball back. Douglas County could be in business.
And let's see the offense do something, Well, it looks like the defense is getting back to the line pretty slowly.
Looks like they're going to fake it, roll the quarterback out. Running back out of the backfield is wide open.
They seem to be having a little trouble with that. I mean, it was, obviously they made some yardage on that and a good pass play, and that's Jonathan Lytle coming out from the fullback position. But he didn't seem very sure-footed and kind of turned around at the last minute. He's fortunate to get what he did on that.
Yeah. Shea Seeley came up, made the stop. So 1st and 10 for East Paulding. They're on the 44-yard line.
There's that fake again. There's Javante down with a tackle.
I think that's Javante's 4th tackle for a loss in the backfield tonight. So he had him at about a 15-yard loss, and it's going to end up to be about a 2-yard loss, 2 or 3 yard loss. But
well, a lot of the players from the Raiders have, they put their head down, they get down low, and then it's hard to tackle low. So that's been their secret there to gain a couple extra yards. They're really scrappy players.
It looks like East Paulding's quarterback's kind of limping. Sean Ashley.
Yeah, the crowd really is getting into it. There's number 28. He's the lead rusher, and that's Kamani Thomas for about 4.
Yep, looks like he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up about a 3rd and 9. So big defensive stand here for Douglas County. Looks like number 35, Keith Radford's checking in. And number 51, that's Ryaz Ellis, the young sophomore, checks out. He's getting some playing time tonight.
I mentioned before, Sean Ashley looks like he's hurt. He's limping. You force him out of the pocket, he's not going to be able to move as well as he has been in the first part of the game.
Got one-on-one coverage on the left side. Looks like it's going to be a sweep to their bread and butter running backs. Let's pick up a couple of yards. That's going to bring up 4th and about 6.
Nice. And, the sweep has been real effective for the Raiders in the first half, and that was a good defensive stand for the Tigers.
So it looks like number 93 for East Paulding. It's going to come in and do the punting. That's Tyler Jelks. And Shea Seeley, man, I would just love to get his hands on this punt and try to return it. Looks like he's dropping a little bit further back this time.
But they have not returned the punt yet.
No. And you just can't let it bounce inside the 10-yard line. We've had a good rush twice, almost blocked the punt the first time. It's like a short punt.
And that's one you want to leave your hands off of.
It's like it's going to stop around the 6-yard line. So, once again, Douglas County's offense is going to
They got the work cut out for them.
Be asked to go 94 yards.
This hasn't been a picnic for them for sure.
Very surprised we haven't seen the wishbone formation that they were in a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. Well, that was extremely effective for them.
Yeah.
The I formation has been an effective formation for them.
Plenty of time. You got 6:21 left to go in the third quarter. You're only down a touchdown, so it's not time to panic here. Just try to get a good drive. They got Shea Seeley in motion that time. That's a little different look. And then Devin Randall straight up the middle for 9 yards.
Very nice play. It was off tackle. It was the right-hand side, kind of a semi-quarterback draw.
And Shea Seeley came in motion behind the quarterback that time. I do know that they put in a reverse this week with Shea, and so they're kind of maybe setting that play up.
That's right.
And
you pulled the defense over to their right, to the Tigers' left, and then a little misdirection the other way with Devin Randall, and it worked out well.
Yeah, Shea Seeley had a huge game last week against Paulding County. He really kept them in that game.
Up the middle, and it's wide open.
Brandon Penniman.
That was the first burst of speed that we've seen from Brandon, and that was a good call.
Yep. And here once again, we're seeing the Douglas County team come alive in the second half. It's something in that Gatorade that
That's right.
Coach Oglesby's giving them, but it's two totally different teams from the first quarter. The first half to the second half that we see from Douglas County, and it's been that way all year long,
all season. long.
Now the offense is rolling. I don't know. I don't know if we wear them down or what it is, but good second halves for Douglas County.
Seeley in motion.
Here comes an option to Brandon.
This time it worked.
Got some space.
Nice to the outside.
Picks up about 6 yards.
That's all you need to do each play.
It looks like it's going to be a 2nd and 4. The offense is rolling.
I like the way they're moving the ball. They're mixing it up, going off tackle, going with your sweep, putting man in motion. Like you said, showing like a possible reverse. setting it up, perhaps for later. You see that if you're a defensive linebacker, you get sucked in. You think, oh, you know what, that's not going to happen. And all of a sudden, you got your guy going on a reverse.
And Devin Randall in the shotgun formation once again. Gives to Brandon Penniman straight up the middle, bounces off a couple of tacklers, and going to pick up maybe a yard. And I do notice that the Douglas County coaching staff, which usually sits up on top of the trailer, they have moved down to the sidelines. I think their headsets quit working, maybe the rain that came through. So now we have all the coaches down on the field for Douglas County. So
I think it motivates the players when the coaches are down there and giving them, encouragement on the sidelines. There's Seeley in motion again.
They're going to throw it to him, a little pass. They're going to fake it to him.
Nice, wide open.
He threw it.
Little late. Actually, DJ made a nice defensive play on that, to be honest with you. A little late, like you said, just a little late.
Yeah, we had two receivers going down, and actually DJ Fluden was the open receiver, but he threw it to number 88. Well, excuse me, 19 is John Willis was actually open.
Sure, and he threw it to DJ.
But he threw it to DJ, which had to get into defensive mode to kind of knock that down. But punting situation once again.
He got a good boot on that.
Low kick.
It's going to go out of bounds. They're not really going to give him a good spot on that.
Looks like it's going to go out of bounds about the 27-yard line. So,
well, that was an encouraging set of downs for the Tigers. I mean, you saw a little action there. You saw a team come to life in the second half, especially after great defensive play and stand in the first series of play. And that's what you need. You need both the offense and defense working it.
So East Paulding. 1st and 10 from about the 29-yard line.
Sean Ashley's going
quick
to the
pass to no one.
Nobody's around. Now in the first half, Tigers got a flag on a play like that. That was similar. Yep. Nobody was out there, and it was not considered intentional grounding for the Raiders.
Yeah, well, number 2, Terrell Hanna, was in the area. I will say he kind of did a slant pattern to the inside. The ball was thrown outside. So
now, see, this is miscommunication there. They have been miscommunicating with the receivers.
Looks like they've done real well on the long passes, but those real quick hitters, they've kind of been going different directions. So 2nd and 10 for East Paulding. Probably see a sweep here.
And they'll probably sweep to the left.
No, they're going to continue to throw.
Play.
Oh, wide open.
And there's Shea Seeley. It's going to be number 23, and Shea, nice tackle. Robert Hale, Shea Seeley.
And that's
Andre Suttles.
Andre Suttles just did a little 10-yard pass pattern. Was one-on-one. Got away from the defender, and Shea Seeley had to run him down about the 5-yard line.
Well, that's what they tried to do on the play before. Obviously, coaching staff and quarterback and receivers saw a hole in the defense.
Get behind your defense.
And they said, let's go back with it again, and this time it worked.
Looking at that left side, number 76 and number 89 for East Paulding, those two guys are really,
they're just
really
huge.
big. So they're just going to run right behind them, and
there it is.
The running back, you just can't stop him. So East Paulding puts up 6 points here.
Well, they answered the 7 that came from the defense from the Tigers.
Yeah, quarterback for East Paulding still kind of limping going to the sidelines, but we had a 65-yard rushing play, hurt Douglas County the first play of the game, and now we've had a 75-yard pass play that hurt them, put East Paulding in scoring position, and they followed through. So,
and you've got Kamani Thomas, who's on his game. I mean, and he just follows his blockers real well. He lets the play set up before he cuts to the inside or the outside, depending on where the hole is.
So we're going to have a penalty on East Paulding. Probably mark it off 5 yards and kick it again.
Illegal shift called against East Paulding.
So Kamani Thomas is going to be back next year. He's only a sophomore.
Back 2 more years.
Now, you know, the interesting thing about the Raiders team, their middle school, they're champs.
Yeah.
Undefeated
Their
champions.
youth football.
Yeah, and so you've got all these great players coming up through the system. So they've got a great system, a lot like Flat Rock Middle School and Sandy Creek, when you've got powerhouse teams like that,
Right.
and you're building it from the middle school up.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see some really good players over the years.
Yeah, it's no good. He kicked it to the left.
And the extra point attempt is no good.
Hey, you know,
Score remains.
that's what the Tigers have been doing all season long. You know, getting a finger on it. You know, a point here, a point there. It makes a big difference sometimes in the fourth quarter. Tell you what, if you're watching City TV, you can view and review tonight's game on Comcast Digital 22 or Tributary 98, Tuesdays at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 4:30, Thursday at 4 and 8, and again on Saturday 2 times, 12:30 and 6:30. Or you can go to City TV Sports. We're on the web at mycitytv.com. It's CITI-TV.com, mycitytv.com.
Regardless of whether Douglas County wins or not, this will be the last regular season game here at Tiger Stadium for the year. If they do come back and win this game, they'll have to go on the road next week. Don't know who their opponent will be. Tyler Jelks is going to be kicking it off. Looks like Shea Seeley's going to catch it about the 7-yard line.
Yeah.
He's going to look for it. Yep. There goes Shea. He's got an opening all the way out to the 42-yard line.
Nice run.
You know, I just think you have to put it in his hands as many times as you can. I mean, he had a great game last week. You know, we've seen him in open space.
Yep. Tonight he's the playmaker. There's no doubt about it. And Brandon Penniman, not to take anything away from his running skills, but for some reason it's just not working for him tonight. I agree with you. You put the ball in the hands of the man who's got it going on.
It's like a 4-receiver set. Brandon Penniman, the lone back. Shea Seeley going in motion. Across the right side, they're going to try the option again. It's not Brandon Penniman.
Oh, man, he got jacked. Wow.
That's Xavier Packer. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but he got hit right in the thigh, it looks like. And he is still down on the Douglas County sidelines. He's up.
Man, that was a solid hit. Brandon's back in, and wasn't it the first game of the season that he had a little problem with the hip too? Didn't he come out for something like that?
Yeah, that was actually Xavier Packer that was running the ball that time. So that's Xavier that's down. He hasn't seen a lot of action in the past couple of weeks, but looks like he's the one that's hurting on the sidelines.
Well, he's moving around, so that's good.
Looks like Xavier's up.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I saw an 8 on that, and I thought it was Brandon, but you're right. That's tough. Oh boy, yeah. You know what? That's one of those that you look at and you can feel it. You can feel the pain.
It doesn't help this 35-degree weather either when those, you know.
That's one of those hits that'll make you a man.
So trying to get the ball to Shea Seeley. He better pick it up.
That's a good pickup there, because was it? And there's a penalty flag down. He's just a heads-up player, man. You know, he plays it all the way through the whistle. That could be a pass interference. What do you say?
It's like Shea's going to come out for a breather, tapping on his helmet. He's going to be on Douglas County.
Hey, the Raiders came to play, though. You know, they're out there doing some smacking.
Solid football team, fundamentally sound, kicking game, offense, defense.
Not too many mistakes.
No.
and they know how to create opportunities.
Ball brought back to the 43-yard line.
Good-looking team.
It is.
The Raiders.
Mean-looking team.
It's like a 2nd and 10. Devin's going to throw. He's going to scramble.
You know, that's just a little inexperience right there.
Takes the sack about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he had a chance to get rid of the ball a couple of times and just didn't really know what to do with it.
Number 10, Devin Randall, brought down at the 35-yard line.
You kind of want the ball to move in the other direction.
Yeah. It's like about a 8-yard loss, going to bring up about a 3rd and 18 for DC, and this is not what they want in this situation. Be a passing down again. You know, they tried that flea flicker against South Paulding, you know, that was set up pretty good, but the first receiver that caught the ball got hit, so we're going to have offsides on Douglas County.
There's just no doubt about that. Jumping the gun, getting anxious, mental mistakes. Stuff you usually see in the first half with this team.
With all the coaches on the sidelines, it's harder to run away and hide when you do something like that.
That's right. I've got your number. I've got your number, buddy.
So it looks like about 3rd and 25 for DC. You just don't want to do something stupid here.
That's what I call 3rd in a lifetime. That's 3rd in a lifetime.
You just don't want to throw an interception here. I mean, pick up a couple of yards.
And you're forced to pass in a situation like this, obviously.
Now another whistle.
Flag on the play.
Now that'll be like 4 penalties in a row.
It's like a little 3rd and 30 coming up.
Man.
If it's a illegal procedure on Douglas County.
I would say Zachary should start warming up on the sideline right now.
Well, if we can quick kick on 3rd down, but it might not be a bad.
I think just get out of the
bad
cycle.
ideal.
Get out of the cycle. You know when things they start going bad in your life. You get a couple of things. You get the rough times coming, and you just get inside your head, and it just keeps happening. And you just got to do something to change it up.
You just can't mess around with quality teams. I mean, you can't make mental mistakes like this.
We have a reception. That's Shea Seeley.
I don't think he caught it.
They're going to give it to him.
Are they?
Yeah. That's where they're putting it.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Bring up 4th down for the Tigers.
All right, well, just get that punt going and get out of this one without losing the ball.
Number 15, Mitchell Webb. He's one of their punt returners, and both these guys back here, you can tell if they get the ball.
Oh yeah,
they can
well,
go.
Well, yeah, Terrell Hanna has shown it time and again, and so has Mitchell. Good hands,
good snap,
and they're setting this up for the run back.
Looks like it's going to roll out of bounds about the 32-yard line.
Sweet punt. But, Douglas County has been asking an awful lot of their defense for this whole game.
47 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
It looked there in the first part of this half that, Tigers were going to make a comeback. They had good momentum, and all of a sudden, here comes the shift.
East Paulding's a solid team. We talked about it. From top to bottom, kicking game, special teams, offense, defense, running game. They've had a good passing game tonight. Just very impressed with this East Paulding Raiders team.
There's no doubt they have a killer instinct, too. You can just tell.
And Shea Seeley is hurt. I don't know if he knows where exactly he's at, but he's coming to the sidelines now.
Yeah, he doesn't look good at all.
No.
Oh, he's looking.
No.
Yeah, what happened on that play? He get hit upside the side of the head.
I'm not sure he knows he's still in Douglas County.
Yeah,
here.
let's keep an eye on him. They got to keep him walking around.
Yeah, him and the wide receiver kind of butted heads about the 50-yard line. Looks like the quarterback's going to roll to the left side, throw it at the feet of the receiver. Looks like we're going to get a unsportsmanlike conduct hitting the quarterback late against. Oh, excuse me. Oh, holding. Wow.
and the fans go wild.
Yeah.
And you said it. It's a good team. It's a solid team, and when you have a solid team, you don't get too many penalties.
Yeah.
And that is the difference in a lot of games. The penalties.
Look at that number 76.
Man, isn't he just incredible?
Wow.
Yeah. No, he's like a pro football player on the field. He just towers over these guys.
He looks like is it Oakland Raiders now?
Yeah, that's right.
Still Oakland.
Yeah, sure is. Where's he going to school? Is he already signed by college?
Somebody said he had signed with Georgia Tech. I'm not for sure, but I guarantee you he's going to sign somewhere.
Oh, he's going somewhere. There's no doubt about it.
He is a specimen.
And I was down on the field earlier today and just standing next to him, and he's a towering, coordinated guy. I mean, usually you get a guy that big and, size and height and weight, and they're a little awkward. He is not awkward.
So 2nd and 25 for East Paulding. Go to their sophomore running back. Looks like we're going to stop him. If Douglas County can hold here on 3rd down, we'll get good field position.
Yeah, not bad. And still some time to do a little bit of damage.
Shea Seeley looks like he's back up. I don't know that he'll be returning the punt.
I don't think so. I think Coach is really keeping an eye on him.
That's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. 20-7 East Paulding here with 1 quarter to go in this region play-in game here from Tiger Stadium.
Well, with a defensive touchdown too, we haven't had any offensive points for the whole game, and then East Paulding coming back with an answer from their offense. So their offense is really taking command of this game from the start.
I don't think Douglas County's offense have got inside the 35-yard line all night long.
No, they haven't. And it's not and I'm not slamming the defense, because the Tigers have played pretty good defense throughout the game. You just got a team that can score, and it's amazing that there's only 20 points up on the board right now.
I'm not going to say that Douglas County is one-dimensional and that they have been all year, but they have really relied on Brandon Penniman in the running game.
Sure.
And he's had a couple of runs. He's probably got 60 yards. I mean, he had that one run about 35 yards, but he's certainly not going to get his average here tonight unless he does it in the 4th quarter.
No, and the thing is that you've seen the Tigers try to vary some of the plays, going for the short passes, trying to set up some screens, throwing the ball out to Shea Seeley. And they've had some success with that. I mean, you pegged it earlier, where you put the ball in Shea Seeley's hands, you're gonna make some yards.
And unfortunately, Shea Seeley's on the sidelines here, sitting on the bench.
Not looking good.
No. So they're going to throw it deep here.
Sure,
like
why not?
Overthrew him. Great play. Good coverage by Douglas County. The ball was just overthrown by about 2 yards.
Well, did you see Andre Suttles really gave it a class act effort. I mean, stretching out for his quarterback, and that was not a bad play, not a bad pass.
Yeah, it looks like they've taken Shea Seeley's helmet away from him. I'm sure a guy like him,
he wants to get back.
Yeah, he wants to get in, but they've taken his helmet and hit him so that he can't get in the game.
Good.
So we hate to see that.
Yeah,
obviously it was a shot to the head. He's trying to shake off now.
He's still holding his head. He's still.
Yep. So we got a new punt returner back. Got a penalty flag.
Oh, and that was the best punt of the
great punt.
Yeah, that was the best punt for him of the season.
DJ Fluellen is back for Douglas County. Looks like Douglas County had 12 men on the field once again.
So they're going to mark it off.
Since it was 3rd and 18, I doubt that that's going to sway their decision to do anything else.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know. You never know. Hey, Coach, can we go for it?
Douglas County calls for 12 men on the field.
So DJ Fluellen, he is a wide receiver, so we'll see if the coaches are going to let him field the ball and try to get a return to get some field position. Looks like they're pulling him up now a little bit.
Yeah, I like him. He's good. He's got some good hands. He can move the ball down the field, too. He's fast.
Short punt.
Yeah, it takes
like it's going to let it roll.
Paulding bounce.
Roll down about the 40-yard line, so.
Hey, you know, we were talking about number 76, Taylor Gadbois, being a big guy. How about that number 89, Aaron Black? Man, he's just as big, man. Woo.
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
Are you
defensive
kidding
end,
me?
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So it looks like Coach Reed for East Paulding may have a strong team for a couple of years here.
Oh, I'd say so. No doubt about it.
They could go a long way in these playoffs if they escape Douglas County here. So our playmaker, Shea Seeley, still on the bench. But we are going to continue. And for I think the third time tonight, we're back in the I backfield with Joseph Barker as the blocker.
There we go.
And Brandon Penniman up the middle for about 2 yards.
Oh, yeah, we got a flag. You know, here's the thing. You got a defensive player that, like, smacks you on the face. You can't retaliate because you're going to be the guy that gets the flag.
Yeah. I think the South Paulding player, or excuse me, the East Paulding player is going to be the one caught here.
It looks like it. But, yeah, Brandon really kind of put his hand back up there.
Yeah,
you know.
Brandon retaliated, but we'll see if the referee – I think he did see the first lick, so
okay.
That'll be good for Douglas County.
You know, why do that when you're ahead 20-7? Come on.
Well, we'll see if they call it on both teams and be offsetting penalties. Let's see.
That's what – oh, no, they're calling it against the Tigers. Are you kidding me? I mean, you know, all game long, I mean, there have been a couple of calls that they're not giving them the benefit of the doubt.
That's going to be the big one.
Yeah, that is the big one, and what a shame. Yeah, and you got to understand the frustration. I mean, you have to understand that frustration.
Well, Brandon's
take
possibly his last, home game here at Tiger Stadium.
Coach is going to take him out, just give him, let him get outside his head again. You get inside your head like that, sometimes it's hard to stop.
It's like about 2nd and 25 for Douglas County. Ball's on about the 26-yard line. Looks like Douglas County is going to call a timeout.
Timeout called by the Tigers.
So that'll leave them with 2 for the rest of the game. 11 minutes, 26 seconds left. We're very proud to partner up with the College and Career Institute and their TV production class that is offered at CCI campus. The Pulse, produced by CCI students, that airs on City TV 4 p.m. on Wednesday. It's just prior to the rebroadcast of tonight's game. They do a good job. They're out there in the cold with poor Fred.
Yeah. We're up here in the press box. We have the windows closed tonight. But
it's toasty warm in here.
City TV staff is got Nathan and got Fred out there, and
Kelly and
Steve.
Braving the cold.
They've been through rain and sleet, some cold wind. So
they working for the post office.
Yeah, have to hand it to those guys. They've done a great job tonight. Yeah,
all season long they have. Putting together some nice broadcasts for us. We appreciate it. Okay, let's gather around the refs. He's going to have a little chat with everybody.
Yeah. After that helmet slapping by Brandon Penniman, refs are going to call both teams together and say, look, we don't want this to get out of hand. What happened.
Yep. Hey, good call.
Let's keep it clean, from here on in.
That's right. They've played a pretty decent game. Both teams, not too many of those nasty penalties.
Yeah. This Christian Connor, number 9 for East Paulding, defensive end on the left side. He's a good-looking athlete.
Yeah, he is. And you notice how You notice how he boxes? He boxes that end. Well, we got a ref that's down.
Yeah, the line judge or the middle line judge of the
I think he made the tackle.
referee staff. He kind of got caught up in the middle there, and he's got some grass stain on the back of those white pants. So
you know, he gets to bring that home to his his loved one tonight and say, I had a tough game. I need a massage. Need a little back rub here. You know, I'd play it up if I were him.
Yep.
Go home. You know.
He's got a story to tell at Huddle House after the game, I tell you.
Here we go, up the middle again.
It's like Douglas County's finally back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up another 4th down. So
Man,
I think this is our 7th punt for tonight. Zachary Maldonado will be sore tomorrow from his action, probably.
Absolutely, but he's done just a spectacular
Excellent
job
job.
tonight. Yeah, you give if you give out 2 awards for player of the game, I think you give one to Shea Seeley and one to Zach. And there's a bad snap. He's going to get it off too. He sure did. He got it back to midfield, 45-yard line. That was sweet.
Ran it down and picked it up. 2 guys all around him and got it out of there.
That was incredible. I thought he was done for. Nice job under pressure.
Yep.
Well, maybe you give it to him. He's the player of the game.
He's earned it. He's punted from his end zone twice, once from under the crossbars. Had a couple of high snaps, and then that one was on the ground and able to get it off. And that would have been a disaster if East Paulding would have got it about the 20-yard line. So
heads up. Zach had his head in the right place for that one.
Number 28, straight up the middle.
Kamani Thomas. And this is all they need to do for the rest of the game.
Right.
They don't need to get fancy.
Carried by number 28, Kamani Thomas.
They're in control.
Don't predict a lot of passing going on here for East Paulding. Looks like Shea Seeley's put his helmet back on the bench, but I don't think he's going anywhere the rest of the night. I think he took a stinger to the head.
Well, he was walking off that field, boy. He just looked like he had come off a yacht on the high seas that, had some big waves going.
Yeah, he's up walking now, and he can barely keep his balance. So I think he
got whacked good.
A little scramble by Sean Ashley. Going to be ran out of bounds.
Number 14, Sean Ash.
There are times that he looks like a great quarterback, and then times that, I question some of the decisions.
Right.
He's a senior, right?
Yep, he's a senior.
Okay. He looks like he's got a good future in college football.
Big, tall kid. It's like a 3rd and 5 for East Paulding.
Well, look out for Andre Settles. I mean, they're gonna need to key on him because
A little toss sweep to the left side. Gets outside.
Nice.
Oh, great tackle.
That's a shoestringer, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Javante Kemp Davis once again.
He was there. He's been active tonight.
Yep.
Good job. That's going to be close to a first down, though.
It's going to be short by about 3 yards. Didn't give him his forward rolling progress.
No, they
there
sure
that he
didn't.
did.
No, that's right. Yeah. So a good thing I'm not out there spotting the ball.
So Tyler Jelks, he's had several punts himself tonight.
Yeah, he's done pretty well.
It's like DJ Fluellen back for Douglas County. Sure would like to see him break one here, huh?
I would love to see it. On the season, 8 catches, 166 yards. So, he's got good hands and good speed, and they're going to let that one just kind of dribble all the way down to the 8-yard line now.
Great punt, no return.
All right, let's see if the offense can do something with 8 minutes left in the game. and they're going to have to really work hard. They're going to have to move that ball fast.
Yeah, and their playmaker Shea Seeley's on the sideline still.
Just to let you know, there are no lines for concession stand behind the home stands. They've got warm food available for you.
Like a split backfield. Devin Randall's going to option. He fakes it. Goes up the middle. It's going to gain about 5 yards.
I think he faked himself out on that one. It looked like he really wanted to. He wanted to let that one rip back there, but then noticed a linebacker coming up
Brandon
pretty quick.
Penniman had a linebacker right beside him, so he didn't have a lot of choice but to tuck that one.
And I didn't hear him scream from here, but you ever see that slow motion like no? I felt that. So with a loss today, would be the end of the line for the boys. Yeah, they've put in a lot of heart and soul this season. I'm not saying it's over. This is a nice pass over the middle.
Yeah, tried to hit DJ Fluellen.
Had the right idea. It's a little high. I'd rather it be up higher than lower with an opportunity at an interception.
Well, East Paulding's got those two safeties now, kind of playing back, prevent. They're up by 2 touchdowns, and they're not going to give up any big plays. They'll give us the short stuff.
Sure. Well, you want to get it in the hands of somebody who can maneuver when they get out there. So get them up the middle. That was a good. That's a good call.
Well, I agree. These Douglas County seniors have a lot to be proud of.
Oh yeah.
They won the county, won a couple of region games.
Get out. There you go.
There's that big number 9. He's Christian Connor.
Yeah, you know what? He's about the finest defensive end I've seen this season. He plays the position well. Yeah, and he moves well for a big guy, but he plays the position well. You have to box. Contains that outside real well. He doesn't crash like a lot of the defensive ends. It's really tempting to crash and try to get that tackle and sack a quarterback or get somebody in the backfield.
It's like 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, look who's out there again.
Zachary, I think it's maybe his 8th punt of the night.
I lost count. I don't know if I have that many fingers. All right, that's not bad. It's almost a 50-yard punt. What? 48-yard punt?
Yeah, kicked it out of bounds, no return. It's like they're going to spot it about the 46-yard line for East Paulding. So, we got under 7 minutes to go here. East Paulding's just going to grind it out. A couple of first downs.
That's right. Although, they do have the killer instinct. What was their last game? 61-6?
61-6 over Osborne.
Yeah, so, they're probably like sharks in the water. They can smell a little blood. Maybe they're going to go for something there. Stadium got quiet.
Well, he's a good-looking running back.
He is.
He's loose, and he's going to go all the way.
Yeah, he is. That's all the way. That's a touchdown. But he just read it. He read it well, broke back to the left when he saw that it was blocking up there a little bit.
Kamani Thomas,
what a
sophomore.
Fine runner. And a sophomore. Imagine him in his senior year.
Well, he's over 100 yards here. Maybe have 150. I guess he's close to 150 yards. So, he's right at 1,500 yards for the season. He's got another game next week. Could this guy put up 1,700 yards?
Wow.
In his sophomore season. It's like a new kicker, Josh Klein's going to try the extra point.
Blocked.
And it is blocked.
Very nice.
A little freshman kicker trying to get him in there to get him some points.
Is that Brandon Bostic? Did he get his hands up for that? I think
he did.
He was celebrating pretty well, so I'm going to assume that it was Brandon that got his fingers on that one. That's a solid player, too, that kid.
So Douglas County down 26-7 here in this region play-in game from Tiger Stadium.
It's more like a play-out game, you know. Tonight it's been like that.
Well, it's do or die, so even if it's a close game, it doesn't matter.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's either win or lose.
Win or lose, doesn't
or,
matter.
Or play again. So it'll be interesting to watch this East Paulding Raider team to see how far they go in the playoffs. You got the senior quarterback, which looked good tonight at times.
Yep, that's right.
But they have certainly got some big offensive linemen, big defensive linebackers and defensive ends, great special teams, and they got a sophomore running back with about 1,500 yards so far this year.
And like you pointed out so many times during the game where, when you look at offense, when you look at defense, when you look at special teams, they're solid, they're consistent, they play smart.
Yeah, that's the mark of a good team,
Antonio Glover is going to break it. He's going to break it, and he is really
50-yard line.
Following his blockers.
Think he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds, and we'll see how they mark this one.
Yep, they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
That's right. That's where he was. Whew.
Might have been a sympathy call there by the official.
I don't know. He was out of bounds. Now, come on. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the replay? Okay. No, he stepped out of bounds. Clearly stepped out of bounds. Lost the ball after.
Great return.
Yeah, that was a fantastic return.
35-yard return.
Did a nice job following the blockers. Almost broke it.
Antonio Glover. Antonio had 10 catches this year for 96 yards coming into this game. Had a great year on defense. Had 32 tackles, Antonio did. So,
right.
Playing both ways. Kind of give some of these guys some credit. Shea Seeley, he had 58 solo tackles this year. Had 21 catches for 327 yards coming into this game. Brandon Bostic had 27 tackles. Brandon Jackson was the sack leader. He had 7 sacks. Like a pitch here to Brandon Penniman.
Nice option. Lost the ball.
And it looks like East Paulding is going to get the ball back here.
Yeah, and just, those stone hands. It's cold out there.
Yeah.
Those are the stone hands. It's just cold.
Senior Brandon Penniman had 7 touchdowns, had over 1,000 yards rushing, had 982 yards coming in, so he probably ended up with about 1,050 yards.
Yeah, real good. Everybody's got to be proud of him. Just a great season.
Averaged 6 yards per carry. Robert Hale had 27 tackles this year coming into this game. LaCurtis Campbell had 39 tackles. Trey Brown, the linebacker, number 26, had 46 tackles. Leading tackler, of course, coming in was Jake LaPointe. Had a good game tonight. Had 61 tackles coming in.
Great game tonight.
In the senior leadership on the offensive line, Darius Anderson had a great year. Kenny Caldwell, number 77, had a great year. DJ Fluellen had 8 catches for 166 yards coming into this game. The senior leadership we talked about all year long is what carried Douglas County to the county championship, a couple of region wins. And so, and then last but not least, a little freshman kicker, Juan Cerna.
Man, that kid.
He had a 47-yard field goal. It was really the spark plug for Douglas County's offense there in a couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
But he had field goals of 37, 44, and a 47-yarder. So
not bad.
Yeah. So great season for these guys. County championship. They'll have that to take with them for the rest of their lives. So just came up a little short here tonight against East Paulding.
Well, I hate to say that it feels, because it won't feel good at the end of the game tonight, but it's you feel better knowing that you played a really good team,
right?
And you lose to a real good team as opposed to a team that hey, there's no doubt we should have beat the team and yet we lost the game.
Just made mistakes.
Yeah. No, this team is a good team. This is a tough team to beat. There goes. Oh man, he is fast. Oh. Sean Ashley has legs.
Comes up limping once again.
Yeah, well, he almost got a horse collar on that too, so he was brought down kind of funny.
It looks like
number
Mikhail Walker,
is it
maybe
number 44. Yeah, that's who it is. Malik Walker.
Malik Walker.
Yeah, Malik's down.
Well, like you said, they kind of smelling blood that time.
Oh, yeah.
East Paulding rode the quarterback out, went for about 45 yards, but might have got hurt in the process.
Yeah, you don't want to see that happen before the playoffs.
Yeah, especially 26-7 lead and still got your starting quarterback in there.
You know what? I would have taken him out.
Yeah, kind of question that.
Yeah. Save him for the playoffs.
So it looks like we're going to have a new quarterback warming up on the East Paulding sidelines. Is that number 15?
Can't tell from this
that's
angle.
Mitchell Webb.
Okay.
This will be the second string.
5:36 left.
Oh, yeah, he was out
Defensive back and punt returner.
taking punt returns. Yep.
He's a big kid also. Look how big the number 89 is.
I told you.
Wow.
You know, you think Taylor Gadbois, number 76, is big? Look at number 89, Aaron Black.
They have got some big kids.
They should put them all together on the line just to intimidate a team when they go out for the playoffs. It may not even be the position they play. Just stick them all on the line. Looks like Malik's having a hard time getting up. Probably got belted in the stomach.
He's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the East Paulding coach came out, check him out. That's a nice gesture.
Yeah, it looks like he's favoring one of the legs there. So,
yeah, Coach Reed looks like a young coach for East Paulding. Walking back to the sidelines.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, it's his left leg. So.
Yeah, Malik had been out earlier in the year. I think he came back the 5th game of the season. I know it was a leg injury. I don't know if it's the same injury he's having here tonight.
Let's hope he doesn't re-aggravate that at the end of the season.
Certainly hope he's okay.
He's not putting any weight on the left leg. Where you at? Where you at? He's not putting any weight on the left.
You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes left in this game, right? And it's going to be a miracle if you win. If you're coached, you put in some of the players that worked hard in practice.
Sure. Why not? Looks like
I see a couple of new
52,
players in there.
Right. Taylor Stanzel. He's a senior linebacker. He's in there.
Yep, seeing a couple of fresh faces in there, and that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Give the kids a shot. Oh, maybe they should have put those kids in earlier. No, I'm just kidding.
Number 28, Kamani Thomas on the handoff. Brought down by
How's Shea? Have you seen him on the sidelines?
He's actually sitting on the bench. He's got his helmet on. I don't think that means a lot for him.
Where you at? Jason.
So we're under 5 minutes here. Just kind of grinding the clock out, huh?
That's what they're doing.
Like a second string quarterback still in there.
I'd put more of the second string in on
Mitchell
the offense.
Webb.
Yeah.
I think their sophomore running back still in there, huh?
Yeah, he is.
He's a good-looking kid. Big legs.
They like those sweeps.
Yep, little sweep to the left.
Nice tackle. Kind of tripped up. Number 2 was Caleb Clemens.
number 2, Terrell Hannah, brought down on the play by number 2, Caleb Clemens. Brings up 3rd down for the Raiders.
It's like number 90, Jeremy Bennett, is getting some playing time here also.
Yep, number 42, Jeff Gaines. Hadn't seen him in earlier, so you got some playing time. I like the coach did that, you know. That shows a lot of respect for the players.
Brandon Jackson's in there, defensive end.
Javon Kemp Davis just antagonizing the
Imagine
quarterback.
that.
Yeah.
He's been in the backfield all night long rushing the passer, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's had a great season. I mean, he really has put pressure on quarterbacks for other teams, too. He was giving Sean Ashley, some trouble earlier on.
It's like 21, Trevin Riggins is back in the safety position. Caleb Clemens, number 2.
Oh, flags on the play.
Flag on the play. Looks like he's going to get down to about the 1 yard line, but it looks like it's going to be a block in the back. Penalty on East Paulding.
Yeah, and Andre Settles is a little shaken up on the play, coming around on that end around and a reverse. Yeah, he's feeling that one.
So East Paulding's coaches are going for the juggler here, running reverses up 3 touchdowns. So
what is going on with that? You know. Well, when I saw the 61-6 score,
yeah.
Sometimes you sit there and you go, okay, was the team that bad that they played, or did they keep their first team in the whole game?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Coach Oglesby's making kind of some mental notes here, that they're going to try to run the score up on him, and, it kind of catches up with you down the road. But
it does. No, I'm all for playing competitive. I mean, you got to do that. You have to do that. But, on the high school level, there's a certain civility.
Right.
The pros, forget it. Hey, we got a flag.
It's all coming apart now. It's like an offsides by East Paulding. It's going to back them up 5 more yards, maybe. Big 76 is still in there. 89's in there.
Yeah, you got the first team still in there. You got 3 minutes left. You're ahead by a few touchdowns. So throw a couple of kids in there. And I used to play basketball. I was like one of the shortest kids on. My dad he never got involved with telling the coach what to do, but I'd show up at every basketball practice, and I wasn't good. I was not good. I tried real hard. And we were doing a blowout game, and he actually stepped up, went to the coach and said, hey, look, put the kid in. He comes to every practice, you never play him. Come on, stick him in. You got like 20 seconds left. Nice. Good coverage.
Yeah. Second string quarterback. Tried to throw it in the end zone to run the score up even more. But
Trevin Riggins made sure that didn't happen. So
Douglas County's going to take over on downs here.
You know what? Start doing Hail Marys. Have some fun.
Yeah.
Just let it rip.
We'll see if Devin Randall. I guess Devin Randall's in. Penniman's in. Joseph Barker at fullback.
Hey, all right. Here we go. Now and they're in the eye. We haven't seen that much tonight.
No.
So
didn't see the wishbone a lot.
No, didn't see that. There you go. Now, this is what they were doing all season long. Let's see what this gets them. 2, maybe a yard and a half.
And on number 18, Brandon.
John Willis jogs back in. Ellis Richardson going in. Coach is substituting.
Yeah, I think Ellis Richardson's a second string quarterback. Let's see what we got going on here. Looks like, yep, Ellis Richardson.
Yep.
Going to be the new quarterback.
Yep, coach is,
Like John Willis trying to get some tough yards. Looks like Devin Randall has retired for the season here. Him and Brandon Pettiman both walking down the sidelines to check on Shea Seeley to see how he's doing. So that'll probably be it for the year for those guys.
Yeah, good season for those guys.
Not a lot of high school running backs can say they have over 1,000 yards rushing
I know.
in one season. So
that's spectacular.
I'm sure Brandon will play more ball in his career, probably on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah, I think more than Saturdays. You'll see that kid maybe Saturdays and Sundays later on. Maybe even a Thursday or Monday night game.
Ellis Richardson's first pass attempt of the year, probably.
Number 3, Ellis Richardson's fastball is complete.
Again, 1:25 left in the game, a 26-7 game. Season winds down for the Tigers. Gonna split it at a 5-5 record.
Yep.
So, 5 good wins on the season too.
Looks like Zachary's going to go for double digits here in the punting department for tonight. I think this is their 10th or 11th punt. That's a stat you don't want to have.
I want to see him get a boomer.
Good snap. Good kick. Fair catch. Lets it go by. Looks like it's going to be down about the 38-yard line.
That's a nice kick.
That'll probably do it here. I think East Paulding will probably just take a knee now.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
Well, see who they put out as quarterback.
And I think you'll probably see is it Mitchell Webb once again. Number 15, the second-string quarterback.
All right, we get Tyler Webb in there too, wide receiver. I hadn't seen him during the course of the day, but they still have Terrell Hanna out there.
Yeah, they still got the big guy.
Still got Kamani Thomas. Still got number 76 in there. You got Taylor Gadbois.
Yeah, still got Kamani Thomas in there.
Yeah, oh man, they got that. Aside from quarterback, they've got their first string.
Yep. Yeah, still going with the sweep. Waits on his blockers to make a move and picks up about 5 yards.
Number 28, Kamani Thomas, brought down.
It's like 42. That's Jeff Gaines for Douglas County going into the game. Going to see some action.
Yep. Going to play defensive end. Winding down. About 45 seconds left to the Tigers season.
Brandon Bostic comes out. He's had a great year, this Douglas County defense.
Yeah, he's a hard player. He played hard.
Looks like they're just going to take a knee here, run out the clock.
Nice. 8-2 team now. East Paulding Raiders will up their record, move to the playoffs. A 26-7 victory for the Raiders on Tiger territory.
Yeah, I mean, they're an 8-2 team, and they really showed it tonight. I mean, we talked about it from top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams, punt returns, special teams, kickoffs. They're a solid team.
Absolutely. A decent Douglas County High Tigers season, a 5-5 record. Like you mentioned before, county victors, so, they've got some bragging rights.
Yep.
And they put on a great season. Brandon Penniman, great season for him, over 1,000 yards. Just a good senior squad, as you mentioned before. Good senior leadership, classy guys.
Yep, Devin Randall had a great year. Shay Seeley had a great year. Of course, Darius Anderson. You got Kenny Caldwell, the big offensive lineman for Douglas County. You got Antonio Glover. He had a great year. Javante Kemp Davis continued to have a great night here tonight.
Yeah, Malik Walker came in. He had some injuries during the season, but came in, played tough tonight. Darius Anderson, man, what a solid kid at center. He really played a great season. Great blocker, kept pressure off the quarterback. A lot of the games.
Well, I think the coaching staff, they'll be a little disappointed here tonight, but I think, we saw South Paulding, and we could tell that they were a class above the other teams that Douglas County had faced, and East Paulding here tonight, you could tell.
Sure.
I mean, they're a quality region team, and I think they'll win another couple of games.
Well, they're going to be tough competitors for whoever comes next for this team, and it's a team that has a lot of young players that, next year this team is going to be even stronger.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback, we don't know what what class number 15, the backup quarterback. I don't know if he was a senior or not, but certainly that running back, Kamonte Thomas, he'll be back next year, and he'll be back for 2 more years.
Well, you know, Mitchell Webb, number 15, is a freshman.
Oh, he is a freshman.
He is a freshman.
Wow. So, you know, he's a starting defensive back, a starting punt returner.
Yeah.
Second-string quarterback. I mean, so.
He's in the 9th grade.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
He's a big kid also.
He's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good victory, good win, an 8-2 record, and 8-2 in the league as well. East Paulding High School victors today. The Raiders over the Tigers. The final score, 26-7. Is Fred still down on the field? Is bundled up?
Yep, I see. I'm looking down here. I see Fred. Looks like he's going to try to interview a couple of players after the game. So, Fred, let's throw it down to you.
Coach, long night tonight. Pretty tough loss tonight. End of a good season. That first play from scrimmage, it looked like they got you, and you look like you all rebounded from that.
Yeah,
but
I mean, our defense, they fought back and played, I thought, great. I think we got tired at the end of the game. You know, we never really got anything going offensively. We had a little mini drive one time, but it petered out.
Yeah.
But, our boys fought, and you know, they played their hearts out. And, you know, you got to give it to East Paulding to being a strong team like they are. And they're going to make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they're that good a team.
Yeah.
So,
but Coach, you got a lot of seniors on this team. How do you regroup and reload for next year?
Right. It'll be a rebuilding process, but, you know, we always do that in the coaching. We're always rebuilding, so in high school ball.
Coach, you've always been gracious to us all season. We appreciate you, and good luck during all season.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Douglas County 7, East Paulding 26. Tough fought, hard fought game. Just looked like Douglas County was just outmanned today.
We appreciate you watching City TV and the sports that have been on through the whole season. Douglas County, a disappointing loss tonight, a 5-5 record and 5-5 in the region as well. 26-7, the final score. East Paulding Raiders on top of the Douglas County Tigers. And Fred, real difficult East Paulding team.
Absolutely. Big, a little too strong tonight for Douglas County. Spoke with the coach. He was disappointed to be understood, but he's just looking forward to next year. It's going to be kind of a rebuilding year for him next year. They had a lot of seniors, but he's looking forward to it.
But an excellent season for Brandon Penniman and the senior leadership for the Tigers.
Absolutely. Douglas County, this team has nothing to be ashamed of. They did win the county. They had a lot of senior leadership. Brandon Penniman will be lost for this year, but next year will be a rebuilding year for Coach Oglesby, as they said. But a lot of highlights for this team. This is certainly disappointing tonight, but Douglas County had a great year. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Supportive fans. It's been a great season. The kids have worked really hard, and I got to tell you, they have one of the best bands too. And you got to love the band parents that come out and support this team as well. Great season on City TV. We appreciate you watching. For Bennett Oliver and Fred Perry, I'm Jonathan Munn.